NKTV.
Hey beautiful kings and queens, welcome back to NKTV, and if you're new, make sure to comment this emoji so we know you're new to the NKTV fam. For today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I picked VCU, and today's going to be like a why did I pick VCU slash a vlog, because I'm going to my cousin Alice's house. So we'll talk more when I get there. Bye guys. I know for a fact that like at some point this camera is definitely about to fall down, so y'all gonna have to work with me because I don't have a little stand yet to be doing this YouTube business. So sorry y'all, it's a new car, so we gotta figure out how to work this. And yes, it takes me about 30 minutes to get situated in the car before I go somewhere, because the music has to be right, the AC needs to be on and popping. So yes, and for today's video we're gonna play the bigger picture, because a lot of people are not seeing the bigger picture in today's society. So that's it, that's my period. I'm scared of they cared. Am I driving? I'm too close. Hold on. This is why I reverse park when I come home, because there's not much space in between the cars.
You want to see those officers involved? We want to see those officers arrested.
Hey beautiful kings and queens.
Hello rats and cockroaches.
I'm with Alice.
Excuse my bonnets. I look very rude, but it's okay.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
Not really. There's not really much going on my mind. We kind of finished my room renovation, kind of, sort of. We're not finished, but almost. And then
we'll show y'all the finish.
She is an unwelcomed guest. She just forced her way in here. I didn't have a choice. So.
Y'all heard me a couple minutes ago when I was in the car, and I said I was coming to my homegirl's house.
Cause she must be at the wrong house.
I called her before I came.
I told her to stay home.
I wanted to relax out so bad.
You know what? We're about to run. You're about to lose your job. I'm sorry.
Boom. Gotta hit the. Kings and queens, welcome back to NKTV. Not really, you know, it's a vlog day, but I wanted to do a separate video basically talking about, okay y'all, I'm trying to take this video as serious as possible, but my neighbor, oh, there's a man. My neighbor is literally staring at me while I record this video, and it's just, I can't take this video seriously. It's like a mini mukbang too, because I got my Cheez-Its. But basically, I want to do a separate video talking about why I picked VCU, because I did get accepted into other schools that many people thought I was going to pick. For example, Spelman and FAMU in Florida. So we're just going to talk about my admission story. Basically, since sophomore year of high school, I always knew that like I was going to apply to as many schools as I could, and that VCU was definitely going to be one of those schools because it's close to home, about like a 2-hour drive, and I think, don't quote me on that, but yeah. And on top of that, like a lot of people in my family have been there, so it's a well-known school like within my area. So yeah, but the thing is like I knew, well, I thought I knew that I wanted to go to a school that was like far away, like maybe USC, UCLA, UC Berkeley. I just wanted to go as far away as possible because I didn't want to limit myself to like all the things that I could possibly do, and places I could possibly go to like expand. After like junior year, I came to the decision that I want to go to Howard in DC because I figured DC is not close to home, but it's not too far, but it's still far enough. And on top of that, it's a HBCU. So I didn't start looking into HBCUs until like the end of my junior year, and I realized that like the business program was good, and that's when I found out about the international business major, because I realized like I knew I always wanted to do something with business, but I wasn't exactly sure what major I wanted to do, whether that was business administration, business management, international business, etc. So that's when I discovered the international business major. And then I was like, okay, this school is perfect. I did my applications and everything, and my biggest regret, I would say, with the application process was not like I applied to I think 10 schools, 12 schools. I focused on one school even though I applied to 12 schools pretty much. Like my essay for Howard took the most time on it. My questions for Howard, read every single word, took it too seriously. But yeah, for my essay for Howard, I wrote about my natural hair journey and like mirrored that with my personal growth throughout high school. And I got my decision in December, I believe, early December. And I remember that day, like, it was quite stressful because the decision was supposed to come out like in the afternoon, and I was traveling to VCU for my cousin's graduation, so like I was expecting to get a decision in the car. I took at least 3 naps, still didn't get a decision yet. So I didn't get my letter until like the end of that day, actually early that morning around like 12. And I was in like a group chat, so the group chat was blowing up, and that's when, like, you know, I got my letter that I didn't get in. And at first, like, I was really upset about it, but I was really upset about it. But it took me about like a couple weeks to get over it, because the type of person I am, especially like with this virus and everything, it's like I plan literally for every little thing. And so when things don't end up going either my way or don't go as planned, because here's another thing, like, I'm not going to share my stats in this video because I just don't think that's like helpful, because I watched a lot of videos of people's stats on Howard, and like my stats are right there, but you know, everything happens for a reason. But just to touch on that, like, don't let one deny letter like bring you down, because even though I didn't get accepted into like the number 4 HBCU in the country, I did get accepted into the number 1 HBCU spot. But yeah, that's just like a moment, even though I didn't go there, it still like showed me that like I shouldn't like degrade my knowledge, and that I shouldn't compare myself to other people, because like I don't know what God has in store for me, you know. So after I didn't get accepted, I took the initiative to apply to as many schools as I can. I told myself that like if things really didn't work out, I would go. Not saying things didn't work out, that's why I'm going, but we're about to get there. So yeah, and I got my letters from those schools. I got accepted. I got some like denial letters. It did bring me down a little bit, but then I still had hope because I applied to so many, so that helped. Is that an ant inside the car? What the heck? Oh, it's outside. Oops. So after I got a letter from, I believe it was Virginia Tech, and I got waitlisted, that's when I knew that like either what I can do is wait to get a letter from Virginia Tech again, where they tell me that either I'm been accepted off the wait list or not. Future around that, and that letter coming out like way June. And mind you, this is before the virus started, so I didn't know that like even like acceptance day was gonna be pushed back a whole month, so I didn't know any of this. So then I was like, or I can look at the schools that I've been accepted to and go from there. And I picked my top 2, and that was either stay in Virginia and go to VCU, or go to Georgia and go to Spelman. So then I told myself that out-of-state tuition, in-state tuition, look at the business programs, and compared to like Spelman, the VCU business program was more appealing. I saw myself there more. And then the last final like check on the box was the financial packet, and then I picked VCU. Am I happy that I picked it? Do I feel like it was a circumstantial choice? No, I don't, because I feel like everything happens for a reason. And with this whole like application college process, if you're like just now starting, I would say really don't limit yourself, and really like not put things in the air, but try your best not to be so cookie cutter and plan everything out like I did, because you really don't know what's gonna happen. And sometimes in the midst of everything, like you can change your whole major. Like I didn't necessarily change my major, but I've been like looking at different minors. I don't know if I want to like add an economics minor to that, or an advertising minor. Like I don't know, like everything's still in the air. So that's my advice. Just don't do what I did, and don't try to be so plan. But the thing about planning that you should do is you should start everything early. But you guys should stay tuned for my college advice part 1 video that's coming out next Monday, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, and then in that video, the link to this video will be down below, so you can hip hop from each video. Lastly, I began this question a lot, like would I suggest VCU to other people? I can't answer that question yet because I'm not a student there, so stay tuned. And I'm probably gonna put this in like a 2 years from now clip, but stay tuned 2 years, a year from now, 3 years from now, and I'll definitely answer that question. Because the thing is, I don't want to like base my experience or base my overall opinion based on what other people have told me or what I've like heard. So yeah, I want to wish everyone luck as they start the new school year and class of 2020, and how we're stepping into the future amid all this virus and everything, and that we're just going to be successful. And also thank you to everyone that helped me throughout the application process. That's another thing that you need to watch in the college advice video part 1, so go watch that. And to all my kings and queens,
but I'm gonna tell you something.
Get rich quick schemes. It's easy money and almost